So can caffeine make your teeth grinding worse? Well, if you enjoy your morning cup of coffee, you're probably hoping that I'm going to say no. And in fact, there aren't any really good studies linking bruxism to caffeine use. But there is, however, lots of anecdotal evidence to suggest that high levels of caffeine intake can be related to worsening degrees of bruxism. And if you consider that the underlying cause of grinding the teeth or clenching the jaw for most people is stress, anxiety and other underlying emotional issues, then we do know that caffeine has a big effect on stress response and anxiety feelings, anxious feelings. And you'll probably know from your own experience when you've had one coffee too many that you can get that kind of jittery feeling, that anxious feeling. So you can tell that caffeine does have an effect on an emotional level just from your own personal experience. So if you do suffer from bruxism, whether that's daytime bruxism, nighttime bruxism, whether it's jaw clenching, teeth grinding, it does seem like it's a good idea for you to try to reduce the amount of caffeine that you have or to completely eradicate it. If you can do that, just give it a try and just see how it goes, if that makes a difference for you. So am I going to tell you that you have to stop caffeine consumption altogether? Well, I'm not going to say that simply because I know for a lot of people that's not realistic. I know for a lot of people that morning coffee is a really important part of their morning ritual, as it is for me. So if you are able to stop, try doing that and see how it makes you feel. If you're not able to stop completely or you don't wish to stop completely, then I'm just going to give you a couple of suggestions for ways that you can reduce your caffeine intake. And both of these suggestions have other benefits, which I'll explain to you now. So listen on. So the first one is to wait at least 90 minutes after you wake up before you have your first caffeinated drink. And this actually has some other benefits for you. So let's explain those. Well, you have this chemical in your body called adenosine. And adenosine builds up throughout the day, getting more and more as you get closer to the evening. And it's actually the chemical in your body that just tells you that you're sleepy, makes you feel sleepy. When you wake up in the morning, you still have some of this adenosine in your system, and that gradually burns off over the first 90 or so minutes of being awake, which obviously you want it to do because you want to be awake and alert and ready to get on with the day. Now, the interesting thing is that if you have caffeine straight away, it actually blocks the burning off, if you like, of this adenosine. So it actually kind of is almost counterproductive. The caffeine makes you feel awake and alert, but the adenosine that's kind of making you feel sleepy is not able to leave your body in the most optimal way. So by waiting 90 minutes, you actually enable the body to burn off that adenosine naturally. And then when you have your coffee after 90 minutes, you get all of the benefits of the coffee, including like the enjoyment and everything else, but also that focus, that ability to concentrate more that caffeine can bring. And you get all the full benefits from doing that. So try this for yourself. Let me know how it goes. I find that I enjoy that first coffee so much more, and I enjoy all the benefits of the caffeine in terms of focus, concentration, and kind of getting on with the day with whatever work that I'm doing at that time. The other thing you can do to reduce your caffeine consumption is to make sure that you have your last caffeinated drink for the day, whether that's coffee, tea, or any other kind of beverages that you consume with caffeine in them. You have the last one around midday or no later than midday. And again, it turns out there's some real positive benefits in addition to doing this, besides limiting the amount of caffeine that you have. So caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 6 hours. So that means that 5 to 6 hours after having your cup of coffee, you've still got half the amount of caffeine in your body as you had when you first drank it. And it can take around 10 hours for all of the caffeine to completely leave your body. So what does that mean for you? Well, if you were to have a cup of coffee around 4 p.m, then that means that for all of the caffeine to leave your body, it's going to take till around 2 in the morning before it's completely gone. Caffeine not only makes it harder to fall asleep, but it also impacts the quality of your sleep. So for whatever number of hours you manage to get a night, you'll derive less benefit from it, which of course is a big problem. And we know from the many studies that have been done on this now that having poor quality of sleep is very closely linked to levels of anxiety. So by making sure you get a good night's sleep, you're also ensuring that you're taking care of your mental health, helping to reduce your anxiety, your stress levels, and of course that's going to have a knock-on effect with your teeth grinding, your jaw clenching, with your bruxism. You'll find other videos on the channel about how you can improve the quality of your sleep and how that quality of sleep can again aid you with helping to reduce stress and anxiety, and how that can help you with your bruxism. So just to conclude then, it does seem that caffeine can make bruxism worse, if only by impacting the levels of stress and anxiety in the body. And so you could try completely eradicating caffeine, just seeing how that makes you feel. Or if that seems like too much for you, you don't want to do that, you don't feel you could do that, try reducing the amount of caffeine you have, perhaps using one of the techniques that I've recommended, which is to wait 90 minutes after you wake up to have your first caffeinated drink and to have your last caffeinated drink no later than midday. So let me know in the comments if you think you could stop caffeine or if you think you could reduce it, whether that's something that appeals to you, whether it's something you think you could do. And if you have tried it, let me know what it felt like and also how it impacted your bruxism.